sides front. True believers. This is Modular Media's No Price podcast where we talk comics, movies.
They can't hear you.
What?
Oh wait, there it goes.
Jesus Christ!
It didn't pick up your beginning slur. I'm sorry.
What?
Face front, true believers. This is Modular Media's No Price podcast where we talk comics, movies, merchandise, and more. I am your host, Boingo Writer, and with me, as always, in the bullpen,
Representing the false alarm competition, the Vacuuminator is here.
and the secret origins of...
I've been here before. It's Buster Corp of the imaginative competition.
There we go. Hi, how you
Aren't
doing?
you special?
How's everyone doing today? Back while you're looking at your dick.
What?
I'm looking at my phone. I just got a weird notification. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, wait a second. You were homeschooled.
What the fuck does that mean?
That's a joke high school teachers often used with kids who were looking at their phones during class.
That's cringe.
High school teachers are generally speaking cringe. How you doing, Jake?
Oh, God.
Pretty sure he's a cool one. He's probably
Yeah. He seems to be like a pretty cool one from what I hear.
mean, I got my fucking English teacher to say the fucking chant from Teen Titans the cartoon.
Hell yeah.
For a short film.
Was it like a DC comic short film?
No, was. I just
It's
needed
the short film I'm thinking of. It was a I'm fucking around with a camera short film.
Yeah.
Was that part of the Secret Origins of Boingo Writer episode of Monster Components?
Yes, go watch that episode. Go back into the archives. Don't watch this live stream. It's bad.
Well-
Get away.
Hey, it's not all that bad because we are talking about a brand new episode. Well, not brand new. Another episode of Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Avengers. Along came a spider.
Oh boy! Can I talk about it?
It's this one. Let's go!
Alright, should I go first or should Vat go first?
I mean, you're the special guest. Fucking take it away, shit boy.
Alright, so this is the episode where Spider-Man appears for the first time. He was mentioned before, but this is his, he's in it. Now, originally, Josh Keaton of Spectacular Spider-Man fame recorded dialogue for at least this episode. I don't know if he recorded dialogue for the other appearances.
Mm-hmm.
And there is, apparently one line of Keaton that's still in here, but it's very just you blink or you miss it line, so who cares? But the guy who they actually got, and probably because the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon was in pre-production at this point, which also probably explains why J.K. Simmons is J. Jonah Jameson, because he was also the voice of Jonah in that cartoon, was Drake Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, who was cool at the time, or we thought who was cool at the time, but now is that's poorly aged.
Yeah, they didn't. Nobody knew. Nobody knew at the time. But oh boy, does it make that decision even worse in hindsight?
Yeah.
Because there's also a bunch of contention over whether or not having Keaton be in this episode was even a good idea. Because apparently the executive producer of this show, I forget what his first name is. Isn't it Christopher Yost or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but it's called the Yostverse. People refer to this show, Spectacular, and Wolverine and the X-Men as the Yostverse. But Yost was only the executive producer of this show, and apparently Greg Weisman said a while after the fact that he always intended Spectacular to be in its own universe. It wasn't connected to anything else in his mind. So Yost putting Keaton in here and then saying it was meant to be Keaton, it was meant to be Spectacular, is kind of flying over the wishes of that creator. So it's a whole pot of what the fuck.
Oh, you mean it functions just like the regular Marvel universe? And that editorial has more control over continuity than any of the writers? Heaven forbid.
Yeah, just a bunch of executive and creative meddling. It's a whole pot, but it makes it interesting to talk about this episode, but also it's just a good episode.
Well, we haven't even talked about this episode
writing wise.
Yeah,
it's one of the best episodes.
Yeah, it's certainly one of the most memorable, if only because Spider-Man's in it. But they just do good stuff with him.
Yeah. It's the exact story you do with Spider-Man meeting an Avengers character, especially Captain America.
Yeah, and it just
Especially with the story they're telling with Cap.
yeah, and it just like I love how it still manages to stand alone, like as like hey, if you just want to check out it for Spider-Man, but it still like ties into the ongoing story arc of the show. That's great.
Like I've seen this episode before. I've seen most of this show. Like I watched it back when it came out because I was just like, "Oh, that sounds like an interesting premise." But I was actually surprised going back just how much fallout from the Skrull invasion is shown in this episode.
Yeah, like everyone is like Cap America sucks. What the hell? And it's like,
But also
I
they've got like
deserve.
cleanup crews, and the whole impetus for the plot is they're doing a prisoner transfer.
Yeah, like Madam Hydra's in it. Yeah.
Madam Viper.
Oh, Madam Viper. I don't know why I thought Madam Hydra. I don't.
Yeah, well, just a lot of good. It's just a lot of. Can I also just say this is one of the best animated show episodes we've had of this show so far?
Oh yeah,
like,
the scene of Spider-Man fighting the snake dude with arms is awesome.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they got like a guest director from either Spectacular or in general to just like come on this episode because of Spider-Man. Like I wouldn't be surprised.
Like
but,
there was very little cutaway action shots like you do in some anime, and this show has done before.
Yeah.
It's all done in the background with the background and that they start with, you know.
Yeah.
Really fluid, well choreographed, easy to read. It's good shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of shit, Hawkeye gives Spider-Man a lot of shit, and I thought that was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love Hawkeye in this as like early Hawkeye. Fuck you, chip on my shoulder.
Yeah, people forget because of how much the current version of Hawkeye has permeated. But back in the day, Hawkeye was a loudmouthed asshole. Like he regularly called Captain America a government stooge.
Yeah. Isn't that like? Wasn't he like kind of like Green Arrow-esque, or am I like thinking?
Actually, Green Arrow kind of got the more loudmouthiness, not from him, but after him.
Yeah. That was
So
much more in like the 70s. Hawkeye was
Yeah.
a shithead in the 60s.
I see. Yeah, it's always like I always like hearing of like similar characters taking inspiration from each other. You know, that's
Yeah.
cool.
And it is funny. We've commented on it before on this podcast. When you take a step back and look at it, Hawkeye and Green Arrow are so similar, it's almost not funny.
Yeah.
Just in like the generalities of them.
But then you like look at, but that's where they get you is like the bigger, not bigger or smaller, just certain details of like, oh yeah, one was a criminal and one was a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, little bits and bobs.
Yeah.
One has like a half dozen child proteges. One has one.
Yeah.
No, but this is like primo Captain America story. Prime Spider-Man story.
Who's the voice actor for Cap in the show? I forgot.
I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah, because he did a really good job in this episode. I forgot how good that Cap America voice was.
Yeah, he is. I've said it before. Actually, I think I said it back when we talked about the first episode to feature him. He's the voice I hear in my head as Captain America when I'm reading comics, not Chris Evans.
Yeah.
And he is Brian Bloom.
Brian Bloom.
I think I have a mix. I think it's in the lighter scenes when Cap's joking, it's more Chris Evans. When he's being like given a speech, it's this voice.
See, I think Roger Craig Smith, but that's just because I like Roger Craig Smith.
When did he voice Cap?
I think in the Ultimate cartoon and just a bunch of video game stuff. Yeah.
But just
Interesting.
a lot of this is just really well done.
Yeah, it's just a solid story, and I love like it really shows like the people of the Marvel universe like aspect.
This is also a prime showcase of what I call the Marvel universe is a suck ass bitch.
Mm-hmm. It's very much going into that whole Marvel is the world outside your window, and the world outside your window is filled with a bunch of loudmouthed, ill-informed assholes.
Yeah. Like in DC Comics, Superman goes like, yeah, no, it's an alien impersonating me. 99.9% of the population goes like, yeah, okay, Superman, we trust you.
Yeah, because he's just a cool guy, but like not like because of
In
the
this,
flaws of
it's
the
like no, it's like 60% of the population goes like, no, he's a fucking traitor.
Yeah, they'd be like they're like alien imposters. That's just convenient, you know.
It also like tracks with other shit that canonically happens in most Marvel universes. Like most people don't usually remember or like remember the coming of Galactus as the coming of Galactus. They just remember a weird thing happened and they don't want to deal with it beyond that.
Yeah, most people actually think Galactus was like a case of mass hysteria in the Marvel universe.
What?
Yeah, like they like one of the prevailing theories of Galactus is a bunch of people in New York mass hallucinated a giant fuckhead.
Yeah, and I mean the FF exists and are well established in this show, so I wouldn't be surprised if the coming of Galactus has already happened in this universe.
I mean, I don't want to spoil the ending, but that's all I'll say.
And I just this is great Peter Parker, where he's
yeah.
down on his luck in real life, but he's trying to be a good hero, and everybody who like takes a moment and sees it, it's like, yeah, you're doing okay, kid.
And I hate that I like his voice acting in this show.
It's also very clear that he's Ultimate Peter, because he shows up and he's like, and I don't mean like Ultimate the show, I mean Ultimate Comics.
Yeah,
Peter.
like
because he shows up and he's like, I mostly work on the Bugle's website, and they're like, I don't care, you can hold a camera, right? You can point and click, fucking do it, bitch.
Yeah, even just in character design, it looks like the Ultimate like comics.
Yeah,
and I hate how much I like Drake Bell's voice acting because I'm like, that's actually a really good Peter voice. Like, because in the Ultimate cartoon, he is so freaking loud and like obnoxious because of the way they write him. But no, here like the way he's more reserved, it's like, oh. Yeah, that's way better. That probably because of the direction, like, was less like we're trying to be a big bombastic comedy. And this was just like, no, we're just taking it like here. There's jokes, but it's not like a comedy show, you know?
Yeah, I'm one of those people who I watched the first couple episodes of the Ultimate cartoon when it premiered, and I went, "Oh, this is garbage." I noped the fuck out. Yeah. But I do genuinely like him as Peter here. Would I have preferred Keaton? Probably, especially considering what we know about Drake Bell now. But just taking it in a bottle, it's a really good performance.
Yeah.
And the citizens in New York, pretty solid, like little people we don't know much more other than they are angry New Yorkers.
Like there's characters, there's Old Man who pops up multiple times in the episode, but it's not like there's no like, oh, it's that person from that comic and we're gonna see them pop up again later.
Yeah, it's not like he has a fucking eye patch and it's the dude from Marvels.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say Marvel, honestly.
No, there's a book called Marvels, which is what inspired Kingdom Come.
Oh,
wait,
yeah,
Buster hasn't read Marvels?
I know about it, I just haven't read it.
But basically,
you gotta fucking read Marvels, Buster. It's a masterpiece.
It's what if the early days of Stan and Jack Marvel through the perspective of a random photojournalist.
Oh, that sounds
just
badass.
A guy on the street.
I gotta check that
out. And he's like, the Marvels are the next step of humanity. They're what we can look up to. And then a thing happens, and he's just like, "Fuck the Marvels, fuck the superheroes, fuck them."
Yeah.
He represents like the innocence and the disillusion of the universe, and no, it doesn't continue from there. He passes his camera on to a protege.
Oh.
He says, "I'm too old to do this anymore. This is a young person's game." It's very much an allegory for the legacy readership and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
interesting.
A lot of interesting things. Marvels is really good.
I will actually read that because honestly, like, I'll be honest, Alex Ross art, it's really good, but it's like it doesn't always make me want to, like, I'm not like in a rush to read anything with that. But like now that I heard that story premise, I'm like, oh, that actually sounds like an interesting story.
It also has some of the most like iconic shots of the Marvel Universe by Alex Ross.
Yeah, it's one of the rare cases where you will see an image of Giant Man and go, "Fuck yeah, Hank Pym!"
But like, if you look up Alex Ross Marvel, I guarantee you 90% of the images are going to be from that book.
Yeah. I'll check it out. But like, as for this episode, it was a really good episode of Avengers.
It's how you do fallout from an event properly, I think.
Yeah, like, cause this has like a lot on this, like, on the surface it has a lot on its plate. It has to do the Spider-Man crossover. It has to like have the Fallout. It has to have a team up. But it does that without like feeling forced or anything. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it just feels
And
like
it
a
even
natural.
leaves you with a little smile at the end of Captain America encouraging assault.
I
Yeah.
mean, hey, Captain America has seen man with little tiny mustaches before.
Yeah.
Though he has much more of a broom handle. I think they went, maybe we should just give him a broom handle from now on.
Yeah, that had to have happened at some point.
Yeah. Oh, how do we feel about the you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us moment?
It's fine. It works. It doesn't stand out as much as that moment you're actually referencing.
Yeah.
But then again, it's one of the most iconic parts of Marvel film, I'd argue. So.
Yeah. So much so that they tried to replicate it in the first Amazing movie, and then everybody complained about it that time around.
Yeah, because
I don't
we
even
weren't
remember
right
that part.
after 9/11.
Yeah.
But I don't even remember that part in Amazing.
The bit with the cranes.
Cranes. Oh, okay. That was actually a cool scene. That was cool.
Yeah, I love that scene, and everybody complaining about it after the movie came out made me go like, "Oh, you fuckers just don't get it."
Yeah, I mean, Amazing 1's a good movie. Amazing 2,
Amazing 2's a great movie with shitty parts.
Yeah,
that's not no.
No, it's a bad movie.
That's like saying,
parts.
"Oh man, this meal was amazing. Shame about the fly in it."
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Sometimes you got to cut out like little burnt bits, and that's okay.
What was the other thing? Oh, I love how they made the Serpent Society super serious.
Yeah.
Serpent Society was like, "Oh shit, you guys are badass."
And yet they never reference that they're a bunch of racists.
Probably for the best or not the best. I don't know.
That being said, this is the only time you can see Spider-Man and Captain America kick the crap out of a bunch of racists in animation.
Did they do that in the 80s cartoon? I feel like they did at one point.
I don't think they would have brought in a character like Hate Monger in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Which I think was probably when because I don't think Red Skull was a major character at that point in time.
No.
Skull wasn't the 1990s Cap film, the direct-to-video one, I think.
Oh yeah, with the rubber ears.
Masterpiece.
Yeah. You gotta do that on this show. You did the Punisher film, you gotta do that.
One day. That's one of those little gems we got squirreled away for later.
Yeah. Also on that list, we got to do the Fantastic Four 90s
Roger
one.
Corman?
Yeah, the Roger Corman one.
The unreleased one. I've actually never watched that. I have not seen a single clip from it.
You know what we should do fucking next time? We have to do an old movie real quick. We should fucking do Scooby-Doo and Crypto too.
Oh yeah. Well, that's not an old movie. That wait,
it was just never released.
No, it actually is coming out.
It's getting a release?
Yeah, apparently it being leaked was a fake thing. It was coming out. It just got leaked.
Oh.
So you can't talk about it because of the policy of the strike. By the way, support the writer's strike.
Well, goddamn.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a moment.
I actually wanted to watch that.
You can still watch it. Just don't talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
I'm opening up news links because I think we've talked about what we can out of that episode. It's a good episode, and it's probably the best. If you just want to watch one episode of this show, that's the one you watch.
Yeah, especially if you're a Spider-Man fan. What? I'll stick around. I'll just stick
around until you get tired of us.
Yeah, that's what I usually do.
Until we're not your friends anymore.
Whoa, but that's only a long time, man.
Man. Well, since Buster's not leaving quite yet, while Boingo's pulling up news links, let me just go ahead and remind everybody.
You mean the news links I already have pulled up?
Motherfucker.
Would you like to do the plug anyway?
Yeah, I'm trying to shill here, buddy. Fucking support the show, everybody. If you enjoy this show and you're watching right now, if you're watching live, don't forget to talk in the chat. We always love to interact with anybody who's available to interact with us. And if you're watching on the replay, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to give us a like, subscribe, ring that bell in order to enable notifications so that you know the next time we go live. Now we can go into the news.
All right, first things first, because of the writer strike and the screen actor strike, we are avoiding talking about upcoming productions and promoting all that kind of stuff because we want to be in solidarity and also don't be a fucking scab. So we're not going to talk about it. But we do have some strike and labor news for everybody.
A little bit.
From discussing film, visual effects crews at Marvel Studios, what we've been talking about, that we talked about this last week, have set the date for the vote to unionize. Voting takes place from August 21st to September 11th. Ballots will then be counted on September 12th.
Meaning we'll probably know by a day or two after that.
Yep.
Yeah. So mid-September, that's what the results show.
Yeah, the 12th is a Tuesday, so we could know as soon as the 13th, but I would say there might be a bit of delay. Just depends on things.
Yeah. But as a quick reminder for everybody, this isn't the visual effects people at Marvel making a union. They are voting to join an already established powerful union.
That Disney has a pre-established relationship with, so they kind of can't do anything to stop it if it does happen.
Well, they can try. Doesn't mean they'll succeed.
And it would be a very bad look, and it would get them in a lot of trouble,
especially with their already established contract with that union.
Exactly.
Which is the IATSE, I think it is. IATSE.
Yeah, we went through this whole thing. We looked at their wiki page last week.
Fuck yeah.
What's next?
Research labor. It's good. Next up, Wolverine has the ultimate showdown with arch enemy in Sabretooth War in this Wolverine book. We're talking about the book.
The main Wolverine is now about to enter a 10-issue arc called the Sabretooth War, which is one of the two things that we're going to be talking about here that Marvel is doing to celebrate Wolverine's 50th anniversary this year.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
This is going to be co-written by Benjamin Percy, who has been writing this run of the Wolverine book for a very long time.
He wrote, like, Evil Beast, right?
Yeah. It's been the same guy ever since the Krakoa era, writing the main Wolverine book.
That's why it's at issue 42, even though most runs end at, like, 24 at this point.
Yeah.
Is it is it considered one of the best Wolverine runs?
We've been really enjoying it. I don't know what the general consensus is.
I think the general consensus is it's not a redefining Wolverine run, but it's pretty solid. It's fun to read.
Yeah. So this is happening. Percy is going to have a co-writer on this. I forgot to memorize their name.
It's probably the person who's been writing the Sabretooth Exile stuff whenever they do that many.
Probably. But yeah, this is just what the next 10 issues of Wolverine is going to be, and it's going to be pretty friggin' hype.
Yep. Because right now Wolverine is in a crossover event called Weapons of Vengeance.
Makes sense for that character.
Predator versus Wolverine, enough said.
Yeah, this was announced this week as well. This is the other part of the 50th anniversary celebration because, hey, Marvel has the Predator and Aliens licenses right now, and people have been saying ever since the start, like, hey, when we get in some crossovers, and here it is. And I think they're going with the one that makes the most sense first. I'm actually pretty excited about this. As somebody who's never seen a Predator film, I want to read this.
You should at least watch
Arnold one?
Yeah, you should at least watch the Arnold one. You'd enjoy it.
Yeah, I want to watch the first two. People tell me the first two are really good. Actually, tell a lie. I have seen a Predator movie, but it's AVP Requiem.
Oh, no! Not even the first AVP?
One time in my teens.
Not even the first AVP, man?
Nope. That's the only Predator film I've seen. But I want to see the first. I want to see the first Predator because it has Arnold and it has fucking Jesse Ventura, and I hear it's really good.
I just got disappointed.
What's your now?
Read the third name on that left-hand side.
Frank Miller?
Is Miller doing the art on this?
No, a different person's doing the art.
Oh, Greg Land! Let's fucking go! Benjamin Percy and Greg Land, the team up I've always wanted, except not really.
Oh, that's just cringe, man. Oh,
well, he's one of three names on art. It's Land, it's Ken Lashley, and Andrea DeVito. So maybe if we'll get lucky, he's just doing like one issue where he's doing certain parts of the story.
Cover by Marco Cicchetto.
Yeah.
The cover looks great. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna read this. This sounds pretty.
I'm gonna read
dope
it, but it's also just like seeing Greg Land just It's a little
It's
pinprick in the balloon.
down.
Yeah.
Also, this comes out on the 20th of next month, so maybe I'll try and watch the first 2 Predator movies before this. Maybe.
Hell yeah. Next up, Russell Dodderman spotlights the greatest love story in mutant history with a new X-Men Blue Origins #1. Oh!
We talked about them potentially doing the thing. They're doing the thing.
Wait, they're doing the Nightcrawler thing?
That's what this is. This is a one-shot just making that canon.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Okay, Buster.
I think I know the Mystique, like the Mystique
being a dad.
Schlong story.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah.
Like the solicitation literally reads, "Fans long know of Claremont's original plans for Nightcrawler's backstory. Well, now the Marvel geniuses of Cy Spurrier and whoever the fuck else is on this book are making it canon. Get hype, bitch."
I really hope they called Chris Claremont and said, like, hey, what were some of your notes so we can maybe try and integrate some of that into contemporary continuity.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Chris Claremont would be down for that.
Yeah, and I'm pretty stoked that they're doing this because I've always thought this was a really cool
Chris
idea.
Claremont is already a good sign. So,
but yeah, no, it's good.
X-Men Blue coming out soon.
They're probably going to sell at least a couple issues of this because it has a lesbian kiss on the cover.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Next up, Star Wars Visions one-shot announced. That's cool.
Yeah, I actually think this is really cool because it is not just like, oh, hey, here's a bunch of short stories based on the Vision show. This is taking the concept of Visions and applying it to comics. They essentially told Peach Momoko, who is a very popular Asian immigrant artist at Marvel right now, hey, here's a one-shot. Tell a Star Wars story completely from your brain. Just do whatever you want. And so Star Wars Visions Peach Momoko #1 is coming out next month. And some of the designs look really good. I'm a little tempted to check this out, even though I haven't checked out the Vision show.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's kind of the point. It's an anthology, so you don't need to like...
Yeah, you don't need to watch the show, but also this may be your entry point into watching the show.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
I hope we get more of these. I hope we get like, hey, Daniel Warren Johnson, do you want to do a one-shot?
Our brains went to the exact same fucking place.
Of course.
Hey, manga artists that we work with, do you want to try and do a manga artists who did the Deadpool manga? Do you want to do a Star Wars one-shot?
Kuriri should get one of these.
The 2 artists?
Yeah, fucking Marco Cicchetto.
Oh. Yeah. Shadow would be fucking great. Just let artists and writers go wild. This is what you should do with the Visions.
Yeah.
All right. Next news. DC reveals sequel to Batman 89 and Superman 78.
Yeah. So these are sequels to the movie sequel comics that came out a couple years ago.
Sequels to sequels to sequels.
Yeah. So for those of you who remember, because I did actually cover the Superman 78 comic on this show. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really solid potential sequel to the movie.
I like the art of the 78 book. I want to read it, especially because I'm a big fan of the first Christopher Reeves film.
It's worth a look. I thought it was pretty solid. It's not as good as that movie, but it feels like it's that continuity and it's solid.
Hey, as long as I get more moments with those characters, then I'm fine.
Yeah. But they're doing another one, and they're also doing another sequel to the Batman 89 sequel that introduced a Robin based on that universe and did the frickin' Billy D. Williams' Two-Face thing.
Billy D. Williams Two-Face and what's the Wayne's guy? One of the
Marlon Wayne's Robin.
Marlon Wayne's, yeah.
Yeah, and I think these are the same creative teams coming back. So
that's cool.
I'm definitely going to check out the Superman. I do know the full story of the Batman one because I watched that back issues episode, but I don't know if I'm going to pick up this Batman comic. We'll see.
Question: is that supposed to be Atomic Skull?
Could be. I'm not sure.
Like a 79 version of Atomic Skull, which would be cool.
Yeah, it's possible. We'll see.
And it looks like we have Scarecrow for the next Batman one.
Yeah, that does have me kind of tempted to check out that one just to see what a friggin' Burton style Scarecrow would be.
Oh, he looks like the second redesign of Scarecrow from the animated series.
Yeah, which is my personal favorite Scarecrow design
I
of
mean,
all
that
time,
like
actually.
if that actually did happen, the animated series did debut around the time of Batman Returns. So if they would probably take inspiration from the animated series if they were to make a movie with him.
I
is
love
my-
this cover because it looks like a great mix of the movie and the animated series.
Oh, yeah.
Just good covers. Just great covers, DC. Good job.
Way to
Just
go.
great covers for all the preview stuff this week. So.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
DC announces new Speed Force series starring the Flash family.
Yeah, Joshua Williams is doing a
He's
new
back?
miniseries. Joshua Williams has never left. He's like the main guy at DC right now.
No, I mean like with on Flash because I know he was on Flash before.
Yeah, he's writing a miniseries that's going to focus on Ace Wally West and the I forget her. Oh, Avery something or other. The Flash of China. It's going to be those two going on an adventure.
I read about the Flash. Like she was in the freaking new Superman book.
Yeah. I probably didn't get to a point where she becomes a big character in that book, though, because I only read the first few issues. And then Avery showed up in a recent Flash event, and I was like, who the fuck is this? I've never heard of this person before.
To the wiki.
You should.
Yeah.
You should keep reading the book, the new Superman book when you get the time. It's really
I
good.
will eventually, like with everything. But this is happening, and it looks fine. I don't know. People like Joshua Williams' Flash. I didn't read it at the time, but hey, check it out if these are characters you care about.
Yeah, it looks neat.
Hmm.
Batman Santa Claus crossover event.
But
Yep.
why are they
There-
hyping it up as a big deal? Like he's crossed over with Santa Claus before.
But this is going to be like a full mini series that's
What?
very creator driven. Yeah, they know what they were doing.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they were
Let
doing.
me look at this. What do you mean? Oh, freaking Zatanna.
Yeah.
Sitting on Santa's lap.
Oh,
Wouldn't
Oh
it surprise
my
me if
God.
Paul Dini commissioned that.
I love
100% did.
I love. Okay, I love this. This is adorable.
Yeah. What's interesting to me is like they're pitching this as it's like a fun, evergreen, almost Silver Age-esque in the same style as World's Finest. Batman and Santa have to team up, and also we find out that Batman spent time training with Santa during his training years, and he's
Oh.
kind of Santa's protege. But you
So
look at this
Batman's the next
design.
Santa Claus?
I guess that's what's going on. But you look at this design, this fucking feels very Klaus-esque to me. And
Oh.
Grant Morrison has nothing to do with it, apparently.
Yeah, this design immediately was like, oh, is this like older Klaus? It
Yeah.
looks good though. This
I
looks like it's
wonder if
gonna
this
be-
is somebody taking that same concept and just saying, what if it was actually in DC?
I have to admit this is a very dumb, silly concept, but I love it and I can't wait to read it.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
I'm definitely going to be
When
reading
does this come out?
It's a 4-issue mini that comes out every week in December.
Oh, that's good. That's good because I was like, what? Like, you're gonna have to start releasing that early, but like every week, that's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the other thing I was about to say? I love this.
I
is
do it.
adorable.
Also, this reminds me to read World Finest because like I just love that kind of style they're going for with like evergreen DC books.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be talking about an issue of it later tonight.
Yeah, maybe I'll read it while you're talking about it.
Well,
This is adorable. Can't wait to see more of it.
Mhm.
Jason Aaron returns to DC with the new Batman miniseries. Oh.
Yeah. Him and freaking Doug Mank are doing a
I thought you were gonna say
Batman.
Doug Dimmadome.
Shut up. Batman Goes to Space miniseries. I think it's called like Batman the I forget what the fucking subtitle is. It's somewhere in the article.
Everyone's going to space these days.
Yeah, but it's essentially Batman's just on a regular old mission, and then he encounters a thing that catapults him into space for the first time for this version of Batman. So essentially, it's Batman the Abduction, but good, I hope?
That's actually a really cool concept. I might be interested if it. I think this has potential.
Yeah, Jason Aaron's a good writer. He hasn't done anything like well, no, he did Punisher. I forgot.
Yeah, it was just about Punisher was like one of my favorite books of
The
last
thing
year.
is, my brain has been trained over the last few years to associate Jason Aaron with the middest Avengers run in a decade.
Yeah.
That's a
um,
you issue.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
it's a
I
lot of
looked at
people's
this and-
issue because it's a not great book. A lot of people didn't like it.
Yeah.
True.
But I also didn't know he had ever worked for DC before. Apparently, he worked on one issue of Joker's Asylum back in the 2000s, and that's how they're able to spin this as his return to DC.
Was it even a good issue of Joker's Asylum?
I don't know. I've never read Joker's Asylum. I have friends that tell me it's worth checking out, though. Yeah, this is going to be happening. I'll read at least the first issue, but I'm not sure beyond that because there's a lot of shit happening in comics right now, and it's going to be hard for me to keep up going into the school year.
Considering we also have some more comic announcements, Joshua Williamson teases big action, new villains, and the unexpected and new Batman and Robin series.
Yep, because Joshua Williamson is also bringing back Batman and Robin, and the crux of this book is going to be sort of following up on his Batman versus Robin series of Bruce and Damian trying to reconnect and somewhat have a domestic life. Like, apparently a big subplot of the book he plans is Damian adjusting to being a regular high school student.
What is this, Wayne Family Adventures?
I mean, they're pulling a lot of those elements into the books. That's good. To great effect. That one Chip Zdarsky issue where literally it ends with like a Wayne Family Adventure setup of like, oh, Bruce, we're having a meal. Come eat with us. And it's the whole family there. But Bruce just came off of a very harsh adventure, and he is traumatized, and he's just like, fuck. It's great.
But yeah, the art for that book does look gorgeous. So I want to check out at least the first issue.
I love how it looks like just bloom. It just looks like a lot of bloom. It's not bad, but it's very morning. It's very afternoon. It's very that kind of orangey hours.
Yeah, which is so different from a usual Bat book color palette in kind of the best way.
Yeah, it's purple. It's like very warm. Even the night scene is very warm looking. It's nice.
Yeah, the art is by Simone Di Meow.
I've heard of them. I think they did some Power Rangers art.
Who's the colorist? No, announcements from the colorist.
Let me pull it back up. Hang on. I literally said that and then I closed it like an idiot.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, it just says Simone Di Meow, so maybe they're coloring it themselves?
Well, or we'll find out who the colorist is when the book gets dropped.
Yeah.
DC Comics seizes Batman and Joker's most brutal fight of all time.
Yep, the next arc of the Chip Zdarsky Batman book is going to be a fucking Joker arc. They're doing... It's called... Shut up. It's called The Mind Bomb. And it's going to be Joker traps Batman in a room, and then Zur-En-Aw fucking breaks out, and Batman has to fight off Zur-En-Aw at the same time as trying to deal with a Joker thing.
That's a bit more interesting.
That's interesting, because it's also just not like, hey, we're trying to do a one-up Joker story. It's more of like, Batman's dealing with some shit. Oh, fuck, it's the Joker.
Yeah, it feels like a meta commentary on DC's reliance on the Joker, honestly.
Could be. Zdarsky is smart like that.
Jesus
but
Christ,
either way, yeah, they always get like the best variant artists on Batman these days.
Question: what issue does Chip Zdarsky start on Batman?
Let's go!
Wait, what?
How much did Todd pay for that? I need to know.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Now you know, Vac, one day you too could do a photo for a DC cover.
I'll be a fucking DC cover one day, I swear, mommy.
Everybody follow Vac on Tumblr and Blue Sky to see
it just looks like a set.
And my Instagram, the _vacuuminator.
Yeah. Some good covers, interesting concept. I am down to see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully it's good. I mean, we've been enjoying the Zdarsky run so far.
Yeah. Oh, there's another
what
Santa
issue
variant.
Does it start?
Hey.
What issue does the Chip Zdarsky run start so I can read it all?
Oh God.
Because I know it's just they don't like split it up into like a number one or like a new.
Yeah,
like, name,
I don't remember
so
what it is.
I'll just look it up.
We'll give you a link to the Zazarsky run in a moment.
No, I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up.
I am too. I'm Googling. Issue 125 of the 2016 Onward series.
All right, 125. That's a good number. I will start reading that right now while you talk about whatever.
What I would say, like, good news, but also like Jesus. Bone creator Jeff Smith is recovering from cardiac arrest.
Yeah, he had a heart attack, and because of it, because he's fucking old, he had to call off his convention appearances for the rest of the year in order to recover.
Wait, he's old? I thought he was only in like his 50s.
I mean, that is kind of old for like having a heart attack. That's getting into the neighborhood of, oh, this could kill you.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were just more of like, yeah, he's an older man. It's like, what? I mean, you shouldn't go to conventions.
He's middle-aged. Does that make you happy, Boingo?
No, I was more confused. I wasn't angry.
Okay. But yeah, guy had a fucking medical incident, and he's taken some time off. Kind of sucks, but hopefully he gets better and he gets to go to those conventions next year. I don't really have much to say beyond that because I've never read any Bone. I don't know if it's for me or not, but I also know like it's
you read Saga. You would like Bone.
Okay, but I also know like Bone's like one of the most famous indie comics of all time, so it bears mentioning here even if we've never talked about it.
Yep. Next up, we got some toy news. Marvel Legends. Shield Agent and Hydra Trooper 2-pack. This is the thing that we were theorizing, or did they already confirm it?
They teased this at San Diego Comic-Con. One of these figures was at the Hasbro breakfast, and then another one was snuck into the case on the showroom floor case day, on the last day of the show, excuse me. And we were all like, oh, what is that? Is that just like a custom just for the show, or are they doing a female troop builder 2-pack? And or like any kind of female troop builder thing, and here it is. You're gonna get, it's basically the new highly articulated female body with the Hydra and Shield Trooper paint schemes and weapons we've gotten a bunch of times before, a couple alternate hands, and a bunch of alternate heads. I think it's a really solid deal for the price. I don't know if I need like a bunch of these, but I wouldn't say no to one copy of the 2-pack if I could get it for a decent price. And my only real qualm with it is just like the I know that's how Hydra Trooper masks work, but the fact that you can clearly see it's a white person on the Hydra Trooper's head, I would have liked if they could have covered that some way, or they could have given you like swappable parts.
Yeah, I think it'd have been
customizability.
I think it'd have been better if they just put a gas. It was like a full head covering, because here you can tell like they're trying to hide the mouth and everything.
Mm-hmm. But otherwise, these look really solid. And as the first brand new Marvel Legends announcement in a minute, pretty solid reveal. But this is probably the last big thing we're going to see until PulseCon.
Yeah.
So just.
It's really cool. Did they do one of these for men bodies?
They did a Shield Trooper 2-pack a while back that was a PulseCon exclusive and sold out crazy fast. They've done Hydra Troopers a bunch of ways. Like they've been figures in regular waves a couple of times. They had just a single Pulse exclusive, like stripped down release for troop building. And of course, there's the one on the Vulcan body that's coming with the SDCC Deadpool. But I don't think we've ever gotten like a comparable male version of this, or a full-on Hydra Trooper multi-pack. At least not in this sense. There is a pack from like 5-6 years ago now that doesn't use the standard Hydra Trooper body and comes with like a bunch of oddball pieces, but I wouldn't say it's like one-to-one to this.
Right, fair.
Mm-hmm. There are options available,
but this is
cool. It's a whole Ouroboros.
Arkham Knight Catwoman Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi.
This is the first time in a long time I've looked at a Revoltech and I've gone, Yeah, I kind of want that. Because this looks like, first of all, the Arkhamverse Catwoman design is one of the best Catwoman designs, in my opinion. Second of all, they did a really good job of capturing it here without sacrificing proportions or like consistency of sculpt for the Reveltech articulation. And as you can see, she can still get into some amazing poses and comes with some really cool, really unique accessories. I actually think this is a bit of a better high-end Catwoman figure than the Mafex that came out a couple of years ago based on the Hush design.
Who? Okay, I can't remember. New Frontier. Who was the artist in redesign Catwoman?
Darwin Cook.
Darwin Cook. This reminds me of the Darwin Cook costume.
A little bit, yeah, I can see that.
Like you could fool yourself into saying like, this is a Darwin Cook style Catwoman.
Yeah, the only thing that has me at all trepidatious about it is Mafex does usually make their, or not Mafex, excuse me, Kyoto Reveltech does usually make their female figures way on the small side, so I don't know if she's going to fit in with like a regular 6-inch display. But once reviews are out and I can see how she sizes up to some of those other figures, I might consider getting her over the Mafex, because that's something I want to do pretty soon, is start delving into the high-end DC figures that I've been spectating forever.
I love the little tongue face.
Yeah, that's super cute. Because that's the other thing. This has a bunch more face options than that Mafex does. It was like, here's a head without the goggles. Okay, you're good.
Yeah. It's a very cute figure. It's a amazing Yamaguchi, which are always interesting to me. So yeah. Mm-hmm. There's another thing you should probably be concerned about.
What's
stability? She's on high heels and very small feet.
Yeah. But like they're able to get her in some pretty decent poses in these shots, mm-hmm. and I trust most professional photographers for promotional stuff these days not to cheat stuff too much. So
yeah. What do you think of this Catwoman figure, Buster?
Oh, looks cute. Yeah, I like it a lot. I'm actually not a big fan of the Arkham like art style, but like in this art style, it looks really cute.
It's one of the I'll say this: the Catwoman is one of the few designs from that game series I really like.
And of course, the big promotional image is Big Horny.
Yeah.
Let me look at it. I can't see it because Boingo's chat. I'll just look at the stream. Oh yeah, it is Big Horny. Yeah.
I mean, it's a Japanese company. What do you want?
McFarlane
American
DC
companies do that too.
Green Lantern DC versus vampires. This was the dick sucking Green Lantern figure we were talking about.
Oh yeah,
they finally gave it a proper reveal this week, and it's Hal Jordan from DC versus Vampires is what this actually is.
It looks fine.
Yeah, it looks like a good figure of that design, but I've never read that story, and I don't intend to at all. So,
we're still probably going to call it Dick Sucking Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Green Lantern.
Also,
Dick Sucking action.
I'm reading the I have a question. I'm reading the Chip Zdarsky Daredevil. What the hell is up with that alternate colored Batman?
That's Batman of Zur-En-Augh, and also you said Daredevil, not Batman.
Oh.
Batman of Zur-En-Augh is a whole thing that started in the Silver Age, and then Grant Morrison came in into the 2000s and said it's an alternate personality Batman created for himself for certain things he doesn't want to have to take care of himself. Also, welcome, Damon.
Why would you call this anything other than Dick Sucking Green Lantern?
Yeah. That's what it is. It will always be cock sucking action.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Todd, but hey, you could always hire us, Todd, to make your marketing material, because we'd be great.
We'd be the best marketing department.
Yeah, Boingo toy commercials would go so hard. Just like his announcer voice, like, "Ew, cocksucking action."
I mean, legitimately, that's partially the reason why I think it'd be fun to have an indie toy company, because then we just have, we need to make a commercial for this. Oh, cool. Let's just spend 5 minutes bullshitting around to have fun. McFarlane DC Multiverse, Black Lightning Final Crisis Walmart exclusive.
Yeah, this is another figure from that reveal slide that we saw Dick Sucking Joker on the first time, it looks really good in hand as an actual figure piece. But I'm not the biggest Black Lightning fan, so I probably won't be picking this up. But it's good evergreen Black Lightning for people who may be longing for that right now, because I don't think he's had a figure in like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Not counting TV show stuff. So yeah, hopefully it goes over well, and that's one more figure on that slide revealed. So hey Todd, can I see an in-hand shot of that Supergirl next week, please and thank you?
No, you're gonna get anything but Supergirl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
that's
gonna be
my
the
luck.
very last thing.
Yeah,
It'll be the very last
he'll-
thing, and
the
at the
year.
bottom of the picture it goes, "Here you go, you son of a bitch, back."
Yeah.
Also, the line's canceled now.
But yeah, no, that's
Got
all.
another toy line.
That's all the news we have. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing okay.
I'm reading Batman. I'm almost at a volume 1 of the Chip Zdarsky.
Way!
Way!
It's really good. Who's the robot though? I'm kind of confused. on that.
That's a new character created for the story called Failsafe. It's a whole thing you'll see as you go through it.
Yeah.
Because
Because he's really cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah. He's related to the Tower of Babel.
But yeah, like Superman's tower?
No,
'Cause
there was a story called Tower of Babel where, you know, the Batman contingency thing?
Oh, it's one of his contingency plans. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
Failsafe
all I
is
did.
his contingency for himself.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, I'm getting to that part. Yeah, makes
yeah.
sense. Makes sense.
You ready to talk about some comics, Mac?
I am. What's
Hey.
up first? Hey.
Hey, it's time for some Daredevil.
Oh, we're just going straight into it, huh?
Just straight into it.
We were just talking about Zdarsky. Lol.
All right, the final issue
Of
Chip
Zdarsky's.
Zdarsky's long run on Daredevil, critical darling,
When did
fucking
it
character
start?
redefining amazing. I'm not your fucking wiki.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just curious for the context.
I think 2018, 2019.
It's roughly like 50 issues, I want to say.
Yeah, it's one of
Counting all the fucking event stuff
yeah,
that happens in the middle.
Reigns. Yeah.
Yeah, Devil's Reign. That's
Devil's
what the
Reign.
event was called. Yeah.
This is heavily just epilogue.
Yeah, it has that very last issue of a run Ula maze about it, of like, this is good, but it doesn't have like that impact you're expecting of this is the grand epic finale. So long, thanks for everything. See you later.
I think that
It's
works
just-
though for what Zdarsky's doing, because basically it's just like, hey, here's Foggy, here's North, here's Elektra, here's all of them just living their lives after these crazy events, and you're just seeing them deal and handle, and they keep seeing Matt in the corner of their eye, and it's like, oh, because
Okay, he started in 2019.
Yeah. Also, speaking of Elektra, I did want to make sure we point out Marco Cicchetto made sure to at least once draw Daredevil Elektra with the ponytail from the Marvel Legends figure.
yeah, he's nothing if not a company man.
Yep.
But yeah, no.
Everyone's
grieving.
It's solid.
Everyone's grieving for Matt. Going like, oh, Matt, I miss Matt.
You know what's one little character detail I really love in the middle of this?
Huh.
We find out that fucking Matt Murdock and Reed Richards play chess in the park every Sunday.
And Foggy's taking
I think
that
that's
up
a really
for
cool
Reed.
idea.
And Foggy's taking it up and hanging out with Reed. And he's like, yeah, no, when my mother, Reed was like, yeah, when my mom died, I saw her everywhere. And it's just like, you get used to it. It never goes away, but you get used to it. I love empathetic, emotional Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also good to see that represented in art, because that is a real thing some people go through.
But then Elektra sees a certain man with red hair walk into a church. She goes in, and there is a blind father of the cloth.
Mm-hmm. Is a priest man.
And she goes like, "Ah, I miss someone," and he's like, "Ah, well, things
Sucks to be you.
you gotta move with your life." And she just goes like, "Are you happy?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm happy. Good.
Also, I gotta go now.
Go
Bye.
see you around."
Hey,
Watch my
plug your shit.
YouTube.
Plug your
your
shit.
No, just watch my YouTube. That's all.
Okay. All right. Well, there we go.
And it's just it's so painfully. It's like, yeah, that's Matt. He's trying to be a preacher now. He's trying to be a priest
Mm-hmm. And he does it for all of 5 minutes.
because he walks outside. He sees some ruffians, and the devil comes a call.
Mm-hmm.
I love that ending though. I love it as like it's like
it's a really good final note of like, it's that thing about comics. The story must always go on.
But it's also like it feels like God was like, "All right, cool. Matt, you did your job. You helped me out. I'm going to give you a happy ending. If you just do this." And Chip Zdarsky's like, "Nah, man. He's Daredevil. He's always going to be Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
He can't ignore it."
It also presents like a really interesting status quo for the next guy. Like, I hope whenever Matt and Elektra reunite in the beginning of the next run, I hope there's a moment where she's like, "I thought you were good, man. I was gonna leave you alone." And he's like, "I know, sorry."
I kind of hope like the status quo is that's his secret identity is he is a preacher.
That would be fucking cool.
And he uses the church as like as a safe haven for the people he saves.
Mm-hmm.
That could be interesting.
Yeah.
Daredevil,
and that could also be a really good impetus for like some stories. Is just like random person comes in, they're having this problem. Matt's like, "All right, we're helping you now."
Yeah. And then then you have Elektra being like old school classic Daredevil, and then you have Matt being like Scarlet Witch, Moon Knight Daredevil, where it's just like, "Oh, I got a specific client now."
Yeah.
It's
people start coming to him after a while. There gets like a thing on the streets of, "Oh, you got a problem, you go to Father Murdoch, he'll sort you out."
I don't even think he's called Murdoch. Like they
Oh,
don't say his
probably
name, but he has like a new name or something, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, you
And
know
then
what it
eventually
should be?
Foggy
It should be
finds
like,
him and he's like, "You son of a bitch!
"I thought you were dead."
For like the 5th time! Stop this shit!"
Foggy. Has any supervillain came after you since I faked my death? No, but that's not the point.
I've been hanging out with Reed Richards. Fucking, wouldn't a villain still come after me if that logic worked? Huh?
Fuck you, Foggy. Why you gotta be a good lawyer?
Oh,
Yeah, no. Know what he should be called? I don't know what the last name should be. Oh, no, I know. Jack
Okay.
Nachios.
Oh, Father Jack Nachios.
Jack from his dad, Nachios from his wife.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
I can get on with that.
Yeah. Good. I like this. I understand your like middling opinions on it, but it's
Yeah, that's the thing, is it wasn't bad. It didn't have the oomph I was expecting.
yeah.
And like, now that I've had a minute, I'm able to go, you know what? It's really good in its own way.
I think the oomph is him just picking up the baton and going into the alleyway. That was the oomph for me.
Yeah, that's the theme song kicking in at like the last couple minutes of the movie, and then he fucking runs off into the alley, and the screen's enveloped in blackness, and then just fucking Daredevil pops up, and the credits start.
Yeah. I read Marvel Voices X-Men. It is a Marvel Voices anthology. It's exactly what you expect. It's fun. It's fine. It's character interactions and minor continuity updates. And that's about it.
Is it literally just, we're trying to do an X-Men push right now, so here's some characters?
Kind of.
I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like co-opting this series to do that.
I mean, they do tackle some things. That there is a Jubilee story where she's reunited with her one aunt character that was presumed dead.
Well,
And
how about that?
they have a fun thing. There's a fun moment where Iceman's in a bar and deals with the bisexual dude that was like the Wolverine antagonist for a little bit, and he's just like, why wouldn't they let me love both? It's just like, okay, cool, you're tackling bisexual erasure, that's fine, that's cool. There's a whole story of Iceman and Aurora having a little like sparring match with their powers, and it's just like, hey, I looked up to you, Storm, because you were cool and powerful. And Storm's like, yeah, no. And I saw your potential, Bobby, and all this kind of stuff. But I'm still the queen. And it's like, okay, I understand what you're kind of going for there. Of like LGBT and black issues and like how they like they're not the same thing. And like I get it. Like I understand what they're doing. It works to some extent. The only one that I'd say is like doesn't fit is the Gambit and Rogue one. Because it's literally just a random Gambit adventure where he's trying to steal back the motorcycle that was from their first date. Which, it's a cute story. It just doesn't fit.
Is that like a continuity thing?
Yes.
Is that actually... Okay.
It is legitimately, he holds out the dress that Rogue wore in that issue because their date got crashed, and he's like, for our anniversary, I wanted to try and finish that date.
Oh.
It's a cute story. It's cute.
Should have been a one-shot, just called Rogue and Gambit.
Should have been a one-shot. It just didn't fit with the vibe of the rest of it, which is all about like expressing yourself and identity and community. It was I don't know.
Gambit's like, hey, my identity is that I love my wife.
I mean, they did. The story is taking place in Louisiana, technically. It is in the bayou, technically. It is related to the Thieves Guild, technically. But it's like, sir, if you really wanted to deal with the Cajun identity, why wasn't he making like fucking dirty rice for Rogue or something? Come on.
Get some gumbo up in here.
Overall, solid little anthology. Some hiccups here or there. I get what they were doing. It is 50%, hey, we want to tell stories with these characters. 50%, but let's also push the X-Men some.
Okay.
You read Tales of the Titans, Raven.
Yeah, this is the second issue of this little series that they're doing.
I love how throwbacky the covers are.
Oh yeah, that's definitely one of the highlights of the book overall. This one's okay. I don't like it as much as the Starfire issue, but I think that's also just because like
Comics Raven is a very different character than TV Raven.
Well, they're doing a lot of stuff that I know from TV Raven here, and it feels very like we don't have much else to do with this character. She's kind of one-note-y. That's kind of how it comes off to me, because the story is literally Raven is at a baby shower for Pantha, because apparently Pantha's having a baby. I've literally never read a story with Pantha in her. I only know who she is on like basic facts. But apparently she decided to take a break from being a superhero to have a baby with her boyfriend. Oh. And Raven and Starfire are at her baby shower, and everybody's really happy. Everybody except for Raven, who's fucking sitting in a corner going like, I'm the daughter of a demon, and my mom didn't want to have a baby. I'm technically a rape baby. That sucks.
Well, I mean, you can't control your triggers.
And Starfire comes up and tries to comfort her and cheer her up and stuff like that, and she's like, yeah, I think I just need to go somewhere else. And then a fucking angel of Azarath shows up and goes like, hey, you have a half-brother. You already know about your half-brother in continuity, but Vac doesn't know about him because he's never fucking read a comic Raven story before. So let's, and there's probably other readers out there, so we're just going to explain that you have a half-brother. He's called Trilogy, Except that's his demon name. His fucking human name is Liam. So I can't. So as soon as I found that out, I read all his dialogue in the voice of that one guy from Writer Club Radio. If anybody's listened to that podcast, but he's trying to make a new one of you. Trigon wants a grandson, so he's trying to get a lady who's the wife of a cult leader to have a baby, and then he's gonna steal that baby and offer it to Trigon as a way to gain favor. You got to go undercover and stop that. And so she does, and the lady who's pregnant is honestly like way fucking nicer and normal and accepting of like the fact that she has to leave this cult that she's supposedly super ingrained into than you would expect her to be. And her husband is just a fucking raving lunatic, and she's just like, oh, that's just how he is. And I'm like, I can't tell if this is too realistic or very unrealistic for how these kind of people are.
It's both. It's both.
Yeah. But eventually Raven convinces her, and then they go to try and get her out of the actual like wedding ritual that will seal the deal and make the baby Trigons. And then the second she gets out of there with the lady, the angel Azarath shows up to take her to safety. And surprise, surprise, fucking twist in the story. The angel of Azarath was actually Liam the whole time. He needed Raven to get the lady out of there so he could get the baby. And then Raven has to fight her half-brother. And she sends her back to... I love the way they word it. She sends her half-brother back to Trigon's hell. Not hell, because Trigon's not the literal devil. We can't say that.
Because we also can't make Neil Gaiman's shit out of continuity, because that's hell.
Yeah. So the fucking sends him to Trigon's hell, and then there's some wrap up where she goes to the husband and she's like, "Yo, fucking stop this shit. You're about to be a dad. Get your shit together." And he's like, "Okay." And then she fucking Skypes with Starfire and we get like some thematic resolution. And then the last page is Liam showing up and going, "Dad was super fucking mean to me and kicked me out of hell. I guess I'm gonna be a good guy now." It's okay, but it also feels very rudimentary and just like, I know Raven is the daughter of a demon, so I'm just going to play with that. Oh, she has a half-brother. I guess I'll use that. It feels like somebody got this as an assignment and went, oh shit, what do I know about Raven?
You know what? Fair. Sure.
Yeah.
I read X-Men Red number 14.
Hey, what's going on with those kooky Arakans?
Civil War.
Ooh.
Yeah, half the planet is on the side of Storm, saying that Arakko needs to grow and change and embrace empathy and togetherness. The other half is like, nah, bitch. Murder, death, kill. MDK all day.
I would love that if they just fucking drew him in as like a background character.
Oh, if I was ever in charge of a big mutant battle, he's fucking a mutant, man. He has 2 pizza cutters for arms.
Yeah!
What's your mutant power? MDK! I don't think that's a mutant power. It is for me, bitch.
You know what that means? Like, his fucking... He can only ever have 2 civilian jobs if you put him in like an actual like real story. He can either actually be the professional wrestler, or he can be like the pizza chef at Blob's Bar.
But basically, this whole issue is just a battle. It's just the war going on, and the back and forth of one distinct battle. And Storm takes down 2 big statues of Apocalypse and Genesis, to the married couple. And some people are like, Jesus, I know we're trying to fight a war on trying to be better, but you're tearing down our history. And someone points out, it's like, yeah, the history of the person who's trying to kill us. Maybe we should move on from the past. And forget these traitors. And Storm's like, traitors? We actually haven't seen Apocalypse here. Maybe he was the first one taken out. Maybe he can come and help us eventually. kind of making sure you remember that seed, you know?
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's good.
Studio.
It's very much just another layer on the all fucked up shit. Because, like, the Civil War is starting to happen, and then Sunspot comes in and goes like, Krakoa's dead. Everyone's dead. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Fuck. And Storm goes like, what?
He comes in like a fucking Rick and Morty at the sketch. He's
Literally.
like, oh, you're not gonna believe it. All the mutants got fucked up. Oh, Morty, I can't believe it.
Literally, someone says, is he concussed or drunk? So, like, I'm just imagining he's coming in, sounding...
And then he looks up and he goes, yes!
And Storm's just like, all right, we're getting no help. We're in the middle of a civil war now. Fuck.
Most of my friends are probably dead again.
Yeah, and she's like, I have no time to deal with this. I gotta fight a war. And
I gotta fucking compartmentalize here.
And that's Storm for you. It's good. It's good.
Nice.
You read issue 3 of The Wild's End.
I think this might be my last issue of this book.
Is it just going in the direction you think it is and you're not that interested?
Yeah, kind of all the mystique is gone from this book. It's kind of like there's no build up, there's no secrecy, there's no what could it be anymore. We're literally just in we're doing War of the Worlds.
Oh.
And it's not that interesting anymore. Like there's a little bit of the character interaction from the first 2 issues I liked so much, but it's very much like bending over backwards just to make this plot happen and show people like working out things that they're gonna work out because it's War of the Worlds and dealing with stuff.
Yeah. That's fair. On to the next book.
Yeah.
I read Batman White Knight presents Generation Joker issue 4.
Hey, how was that?
They run into Mr. Freeze and he's like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?"
Oh, isn't this the... Oh, I remember this version of Mr. Freeze. This is a cool dude.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And the kids are like, "Hey, could you fix our AI, Dad?" And he's like, yeah. Sure, let me take a look at this hard drive. I made this tech, right? Because I'm all about trying to preserve life and make, keep it lasting and all this kind of stuff. That's why I developed freeze technology and cryogenics and all that kind of stuff so it could help preserve life. Yeah. So
Mr. Freeze is Dan Kuruto without the ego.
Yeah. Especially in this, because he's super nice and kind. I like this Mr. Freeze as a character.
He's fucking Grandpa Freeze.
Yeah. And he goes all right, cool. So here's the thing. The reason why I didn't complete this work, essentially, is because your dad stole it. This is John Stewart from the FBI. Please come out of the building.
Oh my god.
You called the FBI? Yeah. The Joker shouldn't exist. I'm sorry. This is gonna suck, but this is gonna help you in the long run. I'm killing your AI dad. And the kids are just like, no, don't kill our AI dad. And then Harley Quinn and Riot show up and just fuck everything up. And Jake Napier shows up as the AI, goes whoa, okay, shit, fuck, this got way out of hand. I'm sorry, Harley. I just wanted to hang out with them for a few hours. And she's like, if you weren't a hologram, you would have a mallet in your face. And then Riot, the Hot Topic Harley Quinn, steals the hard drive because Poison Ivy is dying and she wants to preserve Poison Ivy.
Shit.
And Jack is the only one who knows enough about the AI to do it for her. And and the kids are immediately like, what the fuck? I thought you were trying to help us. And she's like, never trust a villain.
Damn.
A lot of good stuff. Oh, there's another great moment where she's railing into AI Joker, and she goes you may be their father, but their dad is a man who runs around on rooftops dressed as a bat.
Hey!
And the end of the issue is just the kids are running away, or the kids are Everyone's scattered, and you just see Bruce Wayne on the rooftop, like, observing, and he's gonna come into the next issue.
Fucking Harley said, "You may be their pa, but you ain't their daddy."
Yeah. It's good. It's fun. Also, my butt clenched in one scene because the son was messing with a chest full of Joker's old toys and finds a real ass revolver with bullets still in it. Yeah, it's fucked. But it's good. It's good.
Nice.
Good story. Good things. Also, Diana Prince, Wonder Woman, is the other FBI agent, and she's just like, I don't want to hurt the kids. They're like all this kind of stuff. It's just like we could talk them down. All this kind of stuff. We shouldn't storm the building. All this kind of different things. It's good. It's nice. It's a very alternate take, but it's a good take. I like it.
Yeah, that's this universe for you.
I read Alpha Flight #1.
I almost read this. I didn't have time. How was
it? So basically, the premise that they sold the book on is like, oh no, the human members of Alpha Flight have turned their backs on their mutant teammates. What's gonna happen? Exactly what everyone guessed would happen. They're lying to the government and hiding their friends.
Hey.
And they're basically like doing false operations where they go and fight, but their friends come in and beat them and steal the mutant refugee away so they can save them.
Nice.
But the human guys are like, no, we'll make ourselves look like villains so we can be the people on the inside for you. And I think that's cool.
Yeah. Go Allies. Also, am I the last fucking person on Earth to realize Alpha Flight and My Hero Academia have very similar looking logos?
For this version of the logo, maybe not. It looks very similar.
Yeah.
Good issue. I would suggest going back through it because it is fun and these characters are interesting.
All right. Is this a series or a one-shot? I forget.
It is a series.
Okay, so I'll read this issue when the second issue comes out.
Yeah. Let me double check because I just want to make sure. Yeah, we both read World's Finest, Batman and Superman, #18.
Yeah, this is a really interesting issue because it's fucking Mark Waid's take on the first meeting of Batman and Superman, and it's very counter to what you usually expect for that kind of story.
It feels very Golden Age.
It does. It's so like, it's very in character, but it's also like the silliest possible version of being in character for these two, because it's literally Superman shows up in Gotham because Riddler's getting messages that are making him write kryptonese on walls, and he starts investigating things as Superman, as Clark Kent, runs into Batman as Superman for a hot second, and Batman's like, nah, fuck you, I work alone. And then literally the next fucking day, he gets a call from Bruce Wayne, and he goes to stately Wayne Manor, and Bruce Wayne is like, sup, I'm Batman. I knew you were Clark Kent the whole time. You would have figured out I was Batman eventually. Let's just fucking do this. And it's like, you salty bitch. You just wanted to have the home field advantage.
But also, Alfred's missing and I need help.
Yeah. Also, no sign of Dick at all. So I'm guessing this is pre-Batman #1. Which is when Dick debuts as Robin.
Which, is kind of hilarious because everything is kind of in continuity in DC right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is in the middle of year 1.
Yeah, and he's wearing the goofy-ass Golden Age costume. The costume on the cover is not the costume Batman's wearing in this book. And also, just like, the fucking villain team-up isn't what you'd expect, because usually you expect the first Batman-Superman team-up to be either them fighting their smartest villains or their strongest villains, which would either be the Joker and Lex Luthor, or fucking Bane and Zod. But instead, it's the Riddler and Jax Ur.
Which somebody isn't even a comics character.
Jax Ur exists.
That's a cartoon original, right?
I think so, yeah. Or no, wait, he's in Silver Age and Golden Age stuff because he's in an issue of Silver Age Supergirl I read once.
Jesus Christ.
So he's like an old ass obscure Kryptonian character, and he shows up saying the fucking line he's known for calling Superman by. Like the one line he has in this book is the one line that if you know Jack Sawyer, you know he calls Superman the son of his jailer.
Good issue.
Yeah. It is deeply silly, but in a way I enjoy.
Very much so. You read Night Terrors, Superman.
Yeah, I read both issues of this because it's a 2-issue mini that's just like the next 2 issues of Joshua Williams's Superman that are also very heavily like, hey, Night Terrors is happening right now. Let's do a Night Terrors tie-in because also Joshua Williamson is writing Night Terrors.
Do I have to read this to get the rest of the Superman book that's going to be happening?
I don't think so.
Okay.
There's not like no major through lines from that book pop up in this that I can remember. It's just literally the last issue you read happens, and then everybody magically falls asleep and starts having a nightmare. Clark starts dreaming he's in a world that doesn't need Superman anymore. And I love that fucking Williamson knows his continuity. So as soon as things start going wrong, like he starts like people's faces start melting and they start attacking him, and he's like, "Is this the fucking Black Mercy?" And then fucking Kara punches her way out of her dream and into Cal's.
Aww.
And she's like, I had to get out somehow, so I just started punching, and I somehow ended up here. And then a bunch of zombie versions of herself follow through the hole. And they're like all past incarnations. Like there's they're all different costumes. Like New 52's there, Daring New Adventures is there. And then it just turns into fucking Superman and Supergirl fight zombies until they both wake up because of shit the Aquaman family is doing. Because apparently the Aquaman family, in order to hear things underwater, their ears are different from regular humans. So that also makes them immune to the Night Terrors thing. None of them fell asleep, so they're like, all right, the rest of the world's in trouble. Let's get all the fucking Atlantean soldiers and let's go start working on a way to wake people up and help them. So
That's
Superman wakes up in Supercorp and fucking Aquaman is right there and he's like, oh, hey, it worked. That's great. Hey, there's something going on at the Hall of Justice. We should go deal with that. And he's like, cool, give me 1 second. Pulls out his phone. Kara, are you okay? Can you go check on Lois for me? All right, I'll see you tonight. And then they fucking leave for the Hall of Justice.
That's cute.
Yeah.
It seems like it seems like a fine enough little side story to an ongoing event.
Yeah. Didn't entice me to read the rest of it, but I'm glad I did read it. If only to fucking see Supergirl punching a bunch of zombie versions of herself.
Yeah. Dark X-Men #1. We both read this.
I didn't love this. I thought it was all right, but I didn't love it.
I liked it enough. But it's very much just like, hey, what if we got all the just creepy mutants and put them on a team? That's the premise.
Also Gambit. Because we gotta sell this book somehow.
And we'll put a fake Wolverine on the cover to trick people.
Yep. It's just a bunch of weirdos. Bunch of hoopy-froopy weirdos hanging out.
And Havoc. Just not having a good day.
Yeah, fucking... I have to imagine having a conversation with Gambit at some point in this book that is just like, what's it like having a nice marriage? And Remy's like, I'll let you know when I can tell you.
What's it like having a wife that just doesn't use and abuse you? Again, I'll let you know when I can.
Yeah. Also Azazel's here, and they fucking make reference to him being Nightcrawler's dad, and I'm like, oh, buddy. Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. We're going to get Azazel the Cuck stories.
Yes. I hope they reference that sometime. Like, I hope there's, like, I hope in that X-Men Blue Origins one shot, there should be a scene of just them giving Azazel a briefcase full of cash and being like, just whenever anybody asks, you're Kirk's dad. Just tell them that. And so for the rest of his life, because he's secretly a nice guy who follows through on his deals, he's just always any chance he can get. Did you know I'm Nightcrawler's dad?
And then eventually Mystique and Destiny go like, "Hey, you don't need to do this. We're comfortable with saying he's ours." But
and he's like, "Oh, well, I'm keeping my money."
Yeah, no, that's fine. We made a deal. Good. Can I still visit him? He's a grown-ass man. Oh.
And Kirk's like, "You were barely there for me when I was a kid. Why do you want to visit me now?"
I don't know. Maybe we could get a drink. I'm a devout Catholic. Yeah. Don't you want a drink?
This comic is okay.
It's
I barely
okay.
remember anything that happens in it outside of that, to be honest.
I'm gonna keep reading it because I like some of these characters.
Okay, fair enough.
Next book, Uncanny Avengers #1.
It's literally exactly what you expect it to be. Cap goes, everything's fucked. The mutants are having a hard time. I'm gonna get all my mutant friends together and we're gonna do cool things.
Let's
story.
Go kill fascists.
Yeah. Also, I really don't like the way this artist draws Steve with like the big blonde bushy eyebrows poking out under the mask. That's weird.
I understand, but I don't mind it. I do like the moment though between Penance, Kawan, and Steve, where it just was like, "Oh, are you here to stop us from killing them?" And he's like, "No, they're fascists. I've had my dealings with fascists." And they're just like, "Yeah, they killed the mutants." And it's like, "Yeah, avenge them." It's a badass moment, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Also, the whole issue is narrated by Ben Urich, which is cool that somebody remembered that he's involved with the mutant shit.
Yeah. I also really like why Deadpool's on the team.
Yeah, he got given a raw deal by Secret Empire, Nazi Cap. So I'm trying to help him out.
Because I was the one who tried to help him out in the first place, and then got led astray because he trusted me so much. I want to reward that trust.
And I don't know if I like that. I'm sorry, I was stepping on you there. Go ahead.
No. Go.
I don't love that Blob's stupid enough to just start following obviously not Cyclops.
Yeah, but I think it's also just more of like he's trying to convince himself he's doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Also, I don't know if Blob would have survived that fucking massacre.
Yeah, well, remember, a lot of them didn't die. Most of them didn't die. Only like 5 people died.
And
more are dying now, but like...
Also, I like the explanation for how Emma and Tony are going to keep getting closer is that she's fucking pretending to be his secretary.
Yeah. There's a lot of great little moments in this book, but it's very much the first issue of a thing that's going to get better, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I do like how serious Deadpool is in this, though. It's like, charges are loaded, Cap. He's like very on the ball. He's on the mission.
Yeah. I think he only cracks one joke in the whole issue, and it's when he gets a fucking hole blown through his chest.
Oh, yeah. Or, no, there's smaller one-liners. Like, he calls up Rogue and says, like, Eagle 1 to Sugar. Sugar, are you responding?
Oh, yeah.
Don't ever call me Sugar.
Also, was I supposed to recognize the twins? Because I didn't.
Yes, they were the Hydra twins.
The Hydra twins.
Yes, they are Hydra. They are mutants. They were in an earlier book.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't the narration say that they're Strucker's kids?
Yes.
Okay.
They're Strucker kids. I'm trying to remember. It would have been in the... It's the book that Sinister was the leader of.
The Hellions?
Yes, Hellions.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't read all of Hellions, so that makes sense that I didn't recognize them.
I like this. I think you're okay with it, but not super.
It's a solid start. It didn't wow me.
Yeah. We both read Void Rivals #3.
This issue gets Nuck and Futz.
Oh, it's finally picked up.
Yeah, it's finally like, okay, we're out in space and we're having fun now. This is fun. I'm having fun. This is what fun looks like.
We're playing a lot more with the toy box, and
they start fighting the Skuxoid because they're like, there's no way you're taking us alive and stealing our ship. And he's like, wait, what the fuck? Come back here. And they go deeper and deeper into his ship, and they run into a goddamn Quintesson judge. Or jailer, I'm sorry, he's the jailer. And he's like, hey, if you could get me to my ship, I can get you guys out of here. And then they get to the bay, and the Skuxoid's just like, yeah, no.
I ran your profiles. You have no bounties. I don't give a shit about you. In fact, you help me get this guy back in his jail cell. I'll give you a ship.
Mm-hmm. And they give him a fucking Marvel Comics Nebulon ship. That's fun.
And now they're heading back to their home planets.
And they're going like, how are we going to handle this? This is going to be weird. And then at the last second, the lady betrays the guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's stinky. But,
yeah.
Book is interesting now. And I like their home system because it's like 2 planets circling a black hole.
Mm-hmm.
It's neat.
Yeah, that was a cool concept in the last issue. This is very well. It's a nice kind of like crazy sci-fi fun. I'm digging this book more and more as it goes along.
Yeah,
it's justifying itself pretty well.
I think it's understandable though that like they start off slowly bringing in the Transformers stuff, and now it's just like, all right, cool, you're acclimated. Now here's all the fucking name drops.
Also, fucking, can we get like a G.I. Joe nod in here eventually? Like, I forget what they were called, but like bring in one of the freaking crazy monster mutant things from the later G.I. Joe years when they went to space.
Fair enough. Let me double check. Yeah, you read Hot Girl #2.
Yeah. Don't love this issue as much as I did the first one. It's still competently written and it's playing on the same themes, but there's a lot of focus on I don't think she's a new character, but she's a character I've literally never heard of before. The other character on this cover.
You mean Blurple Starfire?
Yeah, that's the thing. Now, keep in mind, I'm saying this in good faith. It's basically woke Starfire. Because she is an alien princess escaped living on Earth who's also a trans lesbian woman. And she has a like companion from her home planet that's disguised as like a little, I forget if it's like a corgi or like a bulldog, but like a cute little dog. And it's like, oh, isn't that quirky? Isn't his character interesting? Don't you want to read about their personal drama? And it's like, I came in here for Kendra. And like the first issue was all about Kendra, and now suddenly we're sidetracking to get into this character who showed up at the end of the last issue, and I don't know anything about, and all the stuff you're telling me is just like, I mean, I don't know, because I'm not any of the things that this character is, but it feels a little bit like pandering to me.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it does circle back around, though, because they're seeding stuff with the villain all throughout this issue. And at the end of it, the new character, whose name I just do not remember, it just did not stick with me at all.
Blurple.
Yeah, Blurple and her girlfriend take Kendra to a gay bar, and they're all having a nice time, and then the villain shows up, and it's like, oh shit, what are we gonna do now? And they get in a big fight, and then Kendra almost hurts somebody and runs into that college friend from the first issue, all grown up. Also, I almost forgot to mention, because Kendra got fucked up at the end of the last issue and Blurple saved her, Blurple also did a thing that only her race can do to heal her that also fused Kendra's wings to her. So now they're like a permanent part of her.
She's more Thanagarian now?
Yeah. So that's like a major change for the character going forward, but she's still able to hide them somehow. And like there are some good, like it's more like they're not a device attached to her. They're something she can like neurologically link with and have better control over, basically.
And on your whole pandering side bit, I just have to say, looking at this character, it looks like several dozen trans lesbian OCs I have seen drawn and created on the internet.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's just like, oh, you're a trans girl that likes Linux? Oh, so original.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of joke.
But it does at least lead to one very nice scene towards the end of the comic, right before the villain shows up and attacks the bar. They take Kendra upstairs to the dance floor, and there's just this nice sequence of panels where she's dancing all by herself, surrounded by her past incarnations, and you can see fewer and fewer of them appear until finally she's able to have a moment that is just hers. And that was a really nice moment that they built up throughout the issue, I thought.
That's nice.
But overall, I would say it's kind of a mid-issue compared to how much the first one impressed me.
That's fair. And I read Godzilla War for Humanity #1.
Yeah, I skimmed this, and it didn't really look like it would be to my taste, but apparently it's really good, so tell us all about it.
It is. I wouldn't say it's a box. It's a very typical Godzilla plot.
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla and kaiju exist, and one scientist says, "Hey, maybe Godzilla is kind of cool, actually." And a lot of people are going like, you know what? Maybe you're right. Godzilla is kind of cool. And then there's one tech bro who's like, no, Godzilla has caused massive amounts of destruction. And the whole argument is like, yeah, but he always fights other kaiju that would have caused even more death and destruction. Like, he leads the kaiju away from populated areas, and he tries to limit the damage. I think Godzilla's trying to help us.
Godzilla is nuclear fallout Superman.
And it turns out that there's a brand new kaiju on the scene, and he is hurting pre-existing, like, peaceful kaiju. Like, there's a couple kaiju that are going through migration patterns, and, like, they're known patterns, so, like, they just keep an eye on them, make sure they don't do nothing. But they just leave the kaiju alone. It's like, alright, cool, just go on your way. But the new kaiju attacks them and fucking hurts them. And so, scientist woman's going like, alright, cool, Godzilla can come and help us. And they're like, lady, Godzilla's on Monster Island taking care of his kid. Godzilla ain't coming to save us. And she's just like, no, Godzilla, come and save us.
Godzilla, be my friend.
Yeah. And that's also just kind of like, it is all about like big friendly Godzilla. This feels very Showa-esque.
Yeah, it sounds like a big tribute to that sort of like mid-Showa era of Godzilla films.
Because it has the Godzilla Kid, all the kaiju designs feel very rubber suit, vinyl toy-esque.
Mm-hmm.
They feel very cute and cuddly. Like in the best way. And I love the art because I love how like good and simple the designs are and how clean it is.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of his name escapes me at the moment, but it reminds me of like the guy who did the box art for the Power Rangers Lightning Collection figures.
Mm-hmm. But it also has like that. But it also has that kind of bubbly, sketchy on the, like doing a doodle on the side of your math notes kind of vibe. I like the art. I like everything. There's one last book that I read. Weapons of Vengeance Part 2, Ghost Rider. It's just they're on the prowl of trying to find the dude. It's fun, it's dark, it's gothic. That's about it.
Yeah. Real quick before we close out, this is a piece of Ultraman art Tom Whalen did after seeing Shin Ultraman. And Subaraya then picked up and made a print you could buy.
Shit.
Um,
Press the wrong button. Hold on. Let
and
me.
I just figured you could take a look and see if that is a good comparison.
I'm trying to, buddy. Hold on.
Oh my god!
Hold on.
Live, everybody.
It's kind of yeah, but it's like there's a childlike wonder with the art, and it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
Nice.
And you said the art wasn't exactly your thing when you skimmed it, but I would suggest giving it a shot.
Yeah, it looked like a kid's cartoon that I would enjoy if I could just binge it, but I wouldn't like get into week to week. You know, it kind of had the aesthetic gave me like the same kind of feeling I get from the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur show of like, this is cute, this is probably really good. I don't feel like I need to watch it or read it right now.
That's fair. Also, the way they colored the book, like it is a Showa throwback because the coloring in the book makes it feel vintage.
Nice.
Like the designs feel like they're mid-70s vinyl toys. The tech feels like it's kind of like retro futurist. The coloring is throwback. Like it feels very it is a throwback. It's fun.
Okay.
But that's it for all the books we read, everybody.
Hooray.
Hooray! Hey, tell the people where they can find you.
Hey everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I make YouTube videos. They're things I'm fairly proud of. I've got a new video out this week. It's on Ultra Q, the original thing that kickstarted the Ultra franchise. Go check that out if you haven't already. It's on YouTube at the Vacuuminator. I'm also on TikTok, posting clips of my older videos. One of those really fucking blew up today. Thanks for that, everybody. That's at the _Vacuuminator. I also have a Instagram where I post daily action figure photography. That's at the _Vacuuminator. And I have a Tumblr, a Twitter, and a Blue Sky where all that stuff tends to get collated. That is thevacuuminator.tumblr.com, at the Vacuuminator, and at thevacuuminator.bsky.social.
Hell yeah. So, hi, howdy, I'm Boingo Rider. I do a variety of things on the internet. I'm on YouTube at Boingo Rider. I'm on Twitch at twitch.tv/Boingo Rider. I'm on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Boingo_Rider. I am on Mastodon at Boingo_Rider at vt.social. I am also on Blue Sky. Hold on, what's my Blue Sky thing? At BoingoWriter.bsky.social. That's where I'm at there. Yeah. And this has been the Override Podcast. It's our comics book podcast, but we have other podcasts such as Components, which is a fuck around, find out podcast. We just hang out, shoot the shit for a bit. Sometimes we have an interview, sometimes we have a guest. Check out the last episode where we had the Evangelists show up and immediately go on 1,001 tangents.
Yeah, I actually had somebody reply to my post about that on Blue Sky today, saying that it actually was really insightful, and they took a bunch of notes based on some of the shit he said. So that was cool to hear.
Yeah. But we also have Analytical Fanboys, a monthly media cast where one of us picks a piece of media, the others watch it, and then we have a discussion about it. This upcoming episode is going to be on G-Witch, Gundam Witch of Mercury. So if you want to watch the episode with us and watch the episode along with, like, yeah, sure, you can do that.
Yeah.
We also have Twit This Week in Tokusatsu, where Vec and Buster, who was here earlier, have a conversation about Tokusatsu. Asterisk, not Power Rangers.
Never Power Rangers, never again.
And we also have one final podcast we need to tell you about. Tell everybody about Saturday morning panels.
Saturday Morning Panels, a G.I. Joe and Transformers podcast, is just that, a podcast where myself and Snowcone83 discuss some of the biggest news from the worlds of G.I. Joe and the Transformers in the past month, as well as classic issues of the Marvel Comics and whatever figures we picked up in the last month. It is a monthly podcast. It comes out on the third Thursday of every month, so be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for Modular Media so that you're made aware when the next episode of Saturday Morning Panels drops.
Hell yeah. Like this video, leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel, do all that. Follow us on the Modular Media on Twitter. We don't have one of those on Blue Sky. What is it on Tumblr?
Just at Modular Media on Tumblr.
There you go. That's where we are on Tumblr. We don't have any other. We have TikTok. The Modular.
Yeah, we have TikTok.
Just Modular.
It's just
Media.
at Modular Media there too.
It's at Modular Media. All right. Cool. Anything else you want to say?
First day of school tomorrow.
Enough said.
Pray for me.
Enough said.